Now here are the parts of my Kopia, or my Polish lance. I'm going to tell you here in the little bit the overall length, but their real ones were anywhere between 5 and 9 meters long. It all depended on how long the preference was for each troop and of that individual hussars. But you know, they are making them out of saplings on the march, so you know, nature is want to not be obedient in providing uniform lengths. So this one is, because it also is going to fit on the back wall of my house when it's done and displayed, is 16 feet 4 inches long when it's all put together. Now the construction materials are 2 pieces of railing banner I got at a local hardware store. They're 1.25 inches wide, and they both total together 16 feet 4 inches, because that's roughly the measurement of this one lance that's in the Polish War Museum. It's a little over 5 meters long, or sorry, 4 meters long. So I'll give you a close up here of this. Now the palm, or the handguard, is a toilet float. It's not finished yet. I haven't painted all the embellishments on it. But with the first shot that I showed you on here we were 10 feet away, so from 10 feet away it looks pretty good. I can handle the 10-foot rule. Now that's just painted on with alternating strips of white and red that I did with some painter's tape and some spray paint. The lance head is not correct, but there's no one that makes them in the US unless I want to have to pay for a custom made one, so I'm going to have to wait on that. But the lance head is from Windlass Steel. Part of the project was to have a breakdown lance. It has a screw head in it, but one of the problems I've run into is that it doesn't want to connect very tightly or very well, and as you can see, the alternating stripes here on the inside, there's different kinds of wood, and when I tried to drill in, the wood gives at different rates, so it kept sliding off the stiffer, darker colored stripes in the middle and sliding off center. So if you elect to use this wood in the future, you may have that problem as well. I zoomed in here on the handguard to show you that it's hollow at the moment, which is why it's kind of dented there. It's going to be filled with a spray insulation that expands and hardens. I'm going to fill it so that it doesn't get dented, because it's just a very, very thin copper, and I don't want it to get completely destroyed rolling around in the back of my van while I'm transporting it. I don't yet have all the alternating trim that's going to be painted onto this, and in fact I don't like the fact that the white stripe looks short, so I'm going to extend that stripe a little bit more, maybe another foot, and then I'm going to put a white bar at the bottom of that, and then in the middle it's going to have this gold vine, leafy kind of vine pattern painted in between alternating white bars in sections up and down the length of the lance, modeled on one that's in the Stockholm roll from 1605. I wanted to point out something else that I ran into. If I was in the saddle, I'd realized that where I had the handguard placed originally was going to hit me in the knee continuously, and that'd be kind of irritating. So I talked to Sir Kieran, who is now known as Sir William, because he is a pro jouster, and I asked him some questions about how they would put the handguard together for a lance, and don't you know, they put it together so that that part wouldn't hit you in the knee. So as much as I made the lance to be kind of uniform, obviously they're going to make them to be custom made so the lance handguard doesn't hit you in the knee when you're riding in this saddle in the upright position. And here is my banner. The cross is the Knight's Cross, which you can date from anywhere between 1680 and 1775, but it was used much earlier than that. It's a fairly standard Polish pattern, or Germanic one as well, sewn in reverse on each color. It is 390 centimeters long, 79, the real ones were 79 centimeters wide at the joist, but mine's actually about 110 centimeters because I got the conversion rate on centimeters wrong. Whoops, and that's the wind. And it is 104 centimeters from the hoist to the fork, which you'll see in a minute. There are 9 original hussar pennants in the Polish Army Museum, and 2 of this pattern that still survive. I made it out of red and white polyester that I had laying around that I bought specifically for this purpose. I got it at $1 a yard, so I elected to use it instead of silk because of the expense and because I wanted it to be very, very durable, and for me not to have to worry about getting it dirty or rolling in the mud at Pennsic or blowing down in one of the Pennsic hurricanes or whatever. And I'd feel bad if I had to waste many yards of silk by rolling them around in the mud from a storm. So I elected to go with the polyester. In a moment, I'm going to put all these pieces together so you can see what it looks like all together. Here are all the pieces put together, like I said. 4 inches long from top to bottom. Still a work in construction. I still have to fix the join here, but this is what the finished product is going to look like. You see, the polyester does a really